Jesus.
Got it.
Murder.
Let me turn you up. What's up?
Medea, what's good? What's good?
I'm chilling. I just did 6 miles on the bike. I'm feeling good. How you feeling?
Big up for you.
No. 6, right? Like it's a lot.
All right, y'all. Like I said before, this is actually Mike's live. It's his session. Mike is from Chicago. He is I don't want to get it wrong, so introduce yourself.
I'm just a dad, just a regular Negro trying to figure this thing out. That's it. Talking about relationships. But,
yeah.
That's it.
We're gonna have a conversation on some things that need to, therapy and holy for something. Mike has the notes.
I got the note.
I'm just here. But thank you guys for hopping on, and we hope you enjoy the conversation.
Yeah. So, how you feeling?
I'm good. I'm grateful.
Grateful? Good. So we're gonna talk about. We always talking about growth shit, right? We always talking about mental health and therapy. We're gonna start off with therapy. The importance of therapy. We got notes, but you know how we do. We're gonna let it flow.
Right.
Are you currently in therapy now or no? No. I was
on and off.
Therapy.
I'm always on and off with therapy because every therapist I go to them run me and tell me that I don't need to be there. But they don't understand, like, it's a good venting space for me,
Right.
I don't really talk to people, so for me it's like that's like my outlet.
I was gonna say, do you have people who you could talk to?
Probably do have people that I can talk to. I just don't talk to people.
What's your sign?
I don't trust people with me.
What's your sign? I forgot. You're not a
I'm
Virgo.
a Pisces.
I know.
The baddest.
Virgos are top 2.
Virgo. Virgo is our opposite, is our sister sign and our opposite sign.
Okay. Yeah, I slowed down therapy myself. I think I needed it heavy after my divorce, but then after a while, you work on yourself for a minute, you become self-aware. It's like, it's less things to talk about, and it's like, why am I going? Like, what are we doing? But why do you think people avoid therapy?
You know what? I've realized people don't really like to hear what's quote unquote wrong with them. Like, people don't want to hear that they're doing anything wrong. And I mean, it's the same thing. It takes a different level of self-awareness or a different level of, really just shuffling your ego and knowing, say, this is for your betterment. Because even me, sometimes I don't like to hear when I'm wrong, but I'll take it on my chin and be like, okay, yeah, I definitely could have handled that situation differently. But if you're not working on yourself and if you're not constantly just recognizing that a lot of the times, 90% of the time,
we're going to figure this out.
I'm right here.
I see. Instagram bugging tonight. It's all good, though.
Okay, I don't have no makeup on, so I'm going to put a filter. Excuse me.
Yeah, I need to do a filter, too, because I don't have no lip moisturizer. Hold on, let me see.
No, you're not. You aggravate me now.
So I got my notes. We freeing it now. We just going for it because my notes is on the phone. Now I'm using my phone.
Instagram is hating.
They hating. You know what? All right, we good. You good?
I'm good.
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Hi, KK.
So, what was we talking about before we got rude?
You can't ask me that, because I have mom brain.
You got mom brain. What you think I got? I got ultimate dad brain. So we were talking about therapy, why people don't want to do therapy.
Oh, yeah.
Your thoughts on that?
I think it's mostly an ego thing. I feel like our egos, as human beings, our egos block a lot of our blessings and get in the way a lot. Okay, success shine.
Yeah. I think for me, well, let me ask you this. When did you first start therapy? Like what age or how long ago? I
started therapy, I want to say on and off when I was 19, 20.
What made you?
Yeah.
What Without getting too deep, what made you get into it?
Anger management.
Sorry?
Anger management.
Anger management. Look at the eyes.
Murder.
Okay. How was it? Did it help? Do you feel like it helped?
Yeah. For a lot of years though, I was very confused and I was very, um, you know, that's that fake it till you make it thing. Like it works, but sometimes it doesn't work because it really confused me because I was more like in the figuring out, like not knowing who I was. Like, okay, I know who I want to be, but I feel like I'm not who I say I am.
Yeah.
For a lot of especially my early 20s, that was the issue.
Yeah.
Hi, Rai.
Fake it
But
till
yeah, I feel like in 2024, I don't understand why therapy is still so taboo. You know, like we working
Mm-hmm.
on ourselves, okay? That's what we do.
Facts.
The work while we.
Facts. Um, yeah, I think too, when we talk about relationships and therapy, I just think people don't want to do the work. People don't want to do the work because, like you said, they don't want to be challenged, but it's work.
A lot of people like being hamsters on a wheel. A lot of people don't realize that they're hamsters on a wheel, but they like it. You know, I always, every time we have this conversation, and when I have this conversation with anybody, I go back to when Lala said, um, when you stay with somebody that hurts you or that cheats on you or whatever, it's easy to stay because that's the devil you know. It's harder to leave, even though you know it's better for you, even though you know you're gonna probably be a better person, but nobody really wants to do that. A lot of people don't really want to do that work
Right.
to be better. So
Right.
they choose to stay. And they're like, yo, this is what I know. So
Right.
I'm gonna stay in it.
It took a lot of courage for me to actually leave my marriage, and therapy was one of the key pieces that I needed to help me give myself permission. Like, yo,
Yeah, I keep you.
there's another life out there. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Let me get these
Because
notes.
we don't know. And the thing is, too, a lot of the times we live our lives thinking we know everything, but we don't. We don't. Like, we live our lives to a certain time. Like, when you hit 16, you're going to realize that, oh, wow, but that's not what I grew up knowing. Like, oh, there's a whole different world out here. And then you hit 20, 21, and then you're like, oh, shit. Like, people could have do them thing here, too. Like, what? And you hit 26, and it's like, whoa, like, what is happening? And then you hit 30, and that's when real life starts. I tell people that all the time, yo. Life is a game before 30. Like, it's just a game. It's playing Super Mario,
And
hoping you
look,
beat Wario at the end.
you start tapping on 40's door. It's like, hold up.
Thanks, I can be real. Yeah, hi,
You know?
Candy. Oh, I'm not up this yet, but big up yourself.
You coming. It's coming.
But yeah, and I have so many girlfriends, especially because we're conditioned to believe that 30s are old or 40s are old or whatever. I have so many girlfriends that, yo, they're scared. I mean, scared shitless of turning 30. And I'm like, yo, that's when life starts.
Yo, I
That's
hit a
when life
little.
starts. It's like this switch gets flipped in your head and you're just like, yo, I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks anymore.
Facts.
Like, I am who I am, and I'm figuring out who I am every step of every day and going at a pace that I like to figure out who I am. And I'm learning and I'm unlearning and I'm relearning. And I like the pace that I'm going.
Yeah.
That's what 30 does for you when you really make the decision to become a better person. Like when you choose to be better.
Were you ever a people pleaser? I was a
Oh,
people
yes.
pleaser for 10 years.
Yeah.
How you get out of that shit?
I told you, like, I hit 30 and I was just like,
It
yo,
just hit.
I know who I am. Like, I know who I am. Like, why am I letting the opinion of people that don't know me and that I don't know control my life? You know, it wasn't easy, but saying no as a full sentence became easier and easier. So I started by saying no and explaining myself when I said no. And then every time I wanted to explain myself, I'd stop myself from explaining it. Until now, it's just, yo, hey, Denyque, can you? No. It's a full sentence.
Period.
You know what I mean? the thing is, I feel like we take on a lot of times, we take on people's projections and we take on their baggage, not realizing what we're doing. And we don't realize too that a lot of the times what people are doing have nothing to do with us, and vice versa, you know. And it's so funny, like there are certain people that I have to walk on eggshells around, and because of that I just don't go around
I
them,
don't go
because
around them either.
it's an insecurity, you know. They take the things that you say and they apply it to themselves and turn you into the villain.
Right.
But really and truly, like, I wasn't talking about you. You just got offended by what I'm saying because you can relate, and you're in a space right now where you feel like you're in that space and you can't get out, so you feel like you're being attacked. But I wasn't talking about you.
Right.
You know, and a lot of the times too, when we state our boundaries and we stand firm in our boundaries and we say, yo, this is what I want and I'm not willing to settle for less than that, people get offended by that too, because now they think, oh, when you say, oh, yo, I don't want to date anybody right now. Oh, why?
Right.
I just don't want to date anybody right now. Oh. So, you know, something must be wrong with me. No, there's nothing wrong with you. Like, it's not you. Like, you know, people think it's a line when I use it, but it's really not you. It's me. It's a me thing, you know? So I feel like when I read, I watched this video. I think we talked about it last time, but I'll say it again. This video where TD Jakes was talking to his daughter, and he was explaining the difference between men and women and how we understand things. And I think if we just stop trying to if we just stop trying to mimic each other in a sense, like, you know, if we just understand that men are solution finders and women are emotional creatures. That's what we are.
Yeah.
I mean, we might want cuss and whatever. I'm very sensitive. I'm very emotional, but I'm also a thug. You know what I mean? Get rich or die trying. But no. Jokes aside, there's so many layers to us as human beings, and you know what? I feel like I'm talking a lot, but sorry.
That's the point. It's okay.
But I realize too that a lot of the times, people are not who they think they are, and that's a harsh reality.
Hold on.
A lot of people.
Hold on. Let's pause on that. People are not who they think they are. Huh. I'm trying to think if I remember one situation with a chick I was talking to. Dating is a little strong. Let me put my phone on. So I remember, hope she ain't watching, but I remember one time we were supposed to hang out. We hung out. You know what? I'll just say she wasn't who she thought she was. You know, all these standards on Instagram, all these, I ain't settling, I ain't doing this, I ain't doing that. But then when you meet them in real life, and when you hear the words that actually come out their mouth that reflect the condition of their heart, how they think about themselves,
right?
You ain't that. You ain't really that, right? And so for me, as soon as I see that you're not who you claim to be, I think a lot of men, we just don't respect you in that light. We don't respect you to that degree.
But then look at it like this too, to add to what you're saying. So you're saying, you know, she wasn't who she thought she was, but think about this too. Maybe she felt intimidated. Maybe she was nervous. Like, I like to give people grace, you know.
I know. I'm saying that's where my thug comes in.
I can only give you grace so far. Like, if it's something that I notice that's recurring, then it's like, yeah, you're really not who you think you are.
Now, how do you handle this?
And that's okay.
I give grace to people who are humble, but when I see that that cocky, when I see cocky,
that's cocky. What?
When I see cocky, I'm like, it's hard to give grace when I see cocky.
Yeah. It's hard to give grace to arrogance, but you have to. The best decision I ever made in my life, like, was one of the best decisions. I made a few incredible decisions in my life, but one of the best decisions that I've made is deciding to learn to love like God loves. It takes so much weight off of you, and just seeing like that. And now, of course, I'm still human, so I'm gonna err. That's what we were built to do. We're human. We were built to err, but we're also built to learn. But if
you can do that, that's a big task.
Of course, I falter sometimes.
You know what I'm
but I'm very, my thing is recognize, decide, commit. So I recognize an issue. I decide if I'm going to fix it, when I'm going to fix it. If I decide to fix it now, then I commit to that journey. Now, committing to the journey is where a lot of people kind of drop off of the journey. They're like, yo, shit gets hard. And they're just like, yo, I don't want to do this anymore. But that's all the part of the commitment to the journey of becoming better versions of you, or really just showcasing that, you know, you are who you say you are, and really being honest about that. Because realistically, I've met so many people that are not who they say they are.
Yeah.
And then too, that could be based on opinion. That could just be my opinion. It doesn't make it a fact. You know what I mean?
Where did you get your drive to continually develop and grow? Where does that come from?
You know, Semina, no, but I just give it to God. Like, I always just say God, baby. Like, it has to be. It can't be nothing else. Like, every time I run up into a brick wall or I run up into a roadblock, for some reason I have the resilience to be able to pull myself out of it, you know, and still not, thankfully, not taint my integrity or my dignity, you know. And I'm grateful for that thus far. You know, I had to go on a poll yet for nothing. So I'm grateful for that. Because I don't think I can drop it like it's hot no more. But
Oh, please. Cut it out. Cut it out. Did you see your mom or your dad show strength like that in their own journey?
In their own way. So my mom's strength, like, what I revere my mom for, my mom was always strong for us in her own way. Without even realizing it, my mom taught me so many lessons. When I was younger, she used to always tell me, be better than me, be better than me. And I think that is a great thing to tell your children, because that's what you want. You want your kids to be better than you. You want to teach them and raise them into to elevate past the obstacles that you probably couldn't elevate past, that you couldn't grow past, you know, and probably even quicker than you were able to get past them. Because it wasn't until, like I said, when I hit 30 that I really started to address childhood trauma, that I started to recognize triggers and address those triggers. Like, those triggers take you all the way back to a moment in time when you were a child, and how you felt in that moment, and to know that, okay, I'm getting triggered now because it's time to go back to tell my younger self, like, yo, it's okay, you're good now, I got you. Like, we overcame it, you're good.
I think that's a good point to really harp on. It's like, yo, let's see if we can help people address a trigger when it comes up. And we don't have to name the trigger or the trauma, but how would you give them a step-by-step? And I'm going to chime in with the way I do it.
I think the first step is to really explain what shadow work is. I'm still learning about it. I know I do it just by, you know, addressing where I falter. I don't necessarily like to take accountability, but I do it because I know it's better. It's going to be for my betterment. I have no problem saying, okay, yeah, you know, I definitely went wrong here. The problem is if I don't think I was wrong. Hey. And then I have this other thing too, where I'm like, yo, I don't ever open my mouth and say something unless I know it to be true. And, you know, I know people always say, you know, there's my truth, your truth, and then the truth. I don't believe in that. There's just the truth. That's all that it is. Now, I believe that you have your truth for sure, but sometimes it doesn't align with the truth. There is still the way that it was the truth. But then you get into situations like that and you remember that people perceive things differently. And it's just like, oh my God, you know, it's such a whole wavelength and layers of different things. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys for watching. But when we get into the conversation and we talk about how to shadow work. So for me, shadow work is addressing trauma. Shadow work is not sweeping shit under the rug, which we were taught to do when we were younger, especially you know, coming from a Caribbean background. Like, that's what we never talk. Now, I came from a family where I wanted to talk about my feelings and nobody else did. So it was weird. It was draining for me. It was draining for me growing up, you know, but what it did too, it kind of it hurt me too, in a sense, because now I internalize And sometimes when I feel myself being triggered, I get quiet. Now, what I'm learning to do is actually
Me too.
speak up. You know, because a lot of the times, you know, and of course we get into a whole lot of other issues like, well, sorry, I don't want to get off topic. I have been known to ramble.
It's
So
fine.
shadow work is facing those traumas head on, in my opinion. Shadow work is going through hell and not stopping. Because why would you stop? I always ask that. Like one of my best friends, she can tell you. Like I always say that. Like if you're going through hell, why would you stop? You
Keep
want burn up?
the fuck
Got to
going.
keep
Right.
going. You gotta keep going because it doesn't last forever
Yeah.
and ever. You know what I mean? Especially, you know, if you're still alive.
Yeah.
So of course hell is not a real thing that we're talking about. Of course we're
Metaphorically
talking
speaking,
about like,
people.
no,
Metaphorically
yeah,
speaking.
metaphorically speaking. Um
So for me,
so
oh, go
yeah,
ahead.
go ahead.
No, so when I think about some of the issues or traumas that I had to overcome, I remember when I was probably, let me think, 11 or 12. I didn't grow up in an emotionally available or emotionally affirming household.
Right.
We didn't talk like you. We didn't talk about feelings. We didn't hug.
Big up Grenada.
We didn't
Mm-hmm.
kiss. We didn't show any affection. And I remember when my younger sister was probably about 8,
Right.
she came for a hug for me. And I was like, ugh. I was like, no, what are you doing? I remember how it felt on the inside.
Yeah.
And she won't let me live that down to this day. So, but how it translates into adult relationships, whether platonic or romantic,
And it
I
will
think in the
translate.
that motherfucker translated, man, look. I was so closed off at times from allowing somebody to get through my wall.
Yeah.
And I really had to figure out, like, Mike, no, you know what's even crazy? I was even closed off from myself. I didn't give myself permission to really feel my own emotions.
You have to.
I was like,
You have to allow.
yo,
In the allowing.
the allowing. I read that in the
Somebody
book.
said something very powerful to me one day. He said, really good friend of mine, and he said to me, he said, it's not that men don't want to do for you or people don't want to do for you. It's that you won't allow them to. And yo, that hit me. That hit me like a fucking brick.
I bet.
Because I'm like, shut up. Why you right though?
Why you right though?
It's always, nah, you don't have to do that. No, I'm good. Hey, yo, you want some help with your bags? No, I got it. Now? No. Now? No. Of course, yes. You need some help? Mm-hmm.
Right.
Can
Please.
you do it on your own? Mm-mm.
Right. Yo, I literally had that conversation this past weekend with somebody. I was like, yo, women, I would say no, men and women, but I think women struggle a lot with that. And so I'm glad you brought that up because you're forced to some degree to be strong. And then when you encounter a man who's capable of helping you, I say man intentionally, you encounter a man who's capable and willing to help you, whether that's physically or the bigger challenge I found was emotionally.
Right.
Let me carry that emotional bag with you. Let me help you unpack that.
Right.
Like, what? Somebody just told me that Monday night.
See,
yeah.
I'm telling you.
Look, the wounds. It's the wounds.
We go through so much as human beings, but especially as women. And we sometimes develop this hyper masculinity, this hyper independence. And it wasn't until, like I said, when I hit 30 that I started to just let it go and be like, all the things that I fought for throughout my 20s to be, I got her own thing. Of course.
Right.
Still want to have my own thing. Still want to be Miss Independent. But I'm still a baby. I'm still a princess. And I must be provided for and must be taken care of. It's not that I can't do it. I had to say to somebody one day, I remember, not because I don't do it,
right,
means I can't.
Right.
I can do anything. Like, and I've always been like that. Like, I remember the one thing, the two little people that bring out my that side of me the most is my kids. And I remember I got up one day and I was like, yo, I'm gonna build a house bed for my son. And I went out, I bought a drill, I bought everything. I went and I bought the wood, and I got the wood pre-cut because I'm like, yo, I don't want to cut that.
You don't do all that, right?
I ain't gonna do all that. But yeah, all night. It took me a day and a half. I built it up first, and then I learned after that, okay, it's better if you paint the wood first before you build it. But you know,
Right,
it was
right,
a process for me. But whenever people see me, they don't think I can do things like that. You know,
right.
it's always people, people like to judge a book by its cover. Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, pretty girls can't do this, or if you
Mm-hmm.
look a certain way, or if you speak a certain way, you can't hold certain conversations, or you can't. I don't know why them feel like when you're good looking, you're workless. I don't know where that narrative came from.
Hmm.
But um yeah, it's like people are always surprised when they see me in certain situations, and it's just like, not because I don't do it doesn't mean I can't. Like, I
Yeah,
choose
yeah.
not to. You know what I mean? And there are spaces when I choose to do it too. Like when it's necessary, like when I need to do it, I'm gonna do it. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? Like, for instance, um, I'm single. I'm not dating, so I'm the woman. I'm the head of the household. If a bulb needs to be changed, I'm gonna change the bulb. My kids' bunk beds need to be built up. I'm gonna build it up.
Mm-hmm.
However, if there was a man in the house, can I do it?
You said I'm good.
No. No,
Uh-huh.
automatically I'm them nook. I cannot do nothing. We cannot do
Look,
nothing.
you go limp.
No,
Right.
yeah, no, nothing. But yeah, Caribbean Bella is right. Caribbean women built different. Like, for real. I think just women on a whole are built different, but specifically, and I can only speak to and attest to the women I know and the women that I've encountered and the women that I have gotten the absolute pleasure of befriending, of experiencing. Caribbean women, Black women, women of color. I just feel like, yo, we just built different, dog. Like, for real. Like,
Now,
there is
look.
no task that we cannot
Oh, you're gonna do
conquer
it. You're gonna accomplish it.
every
Now
time.
here,
Like,
Nick,
we are
how do
gonna
you?
we're gonna come out the car, and I used to do it all the time. And the thing is, we do it so easily that it coming like nothing to us. Like, when you actually start saying it, it's like, oh, I did all of that. Like me, I be coming out the car. I got my baby in one arm, and I'm taking out all the groceries in the next arm. I'm using my foot to close the trunk, and I'm going inside. And y'all
You
couldn't do
you
that. Like,
you using
no
you?
disrespect to men, but
No, we don't,
y'all couldn't do that.
and we won't,
And
and we
and you
won't.
won't. And the thing is, you won't even think to do that. And that's the difference between a woman's mind and a man's mind. A man won't even think to do that. A man will just think process by process, step by step. I'm gonna take the baby in first, then come back in, take the groceries, and then
Hmm.
we no, brother, everything I for going in one time, one trip,
But
one
look,
trip.
but how do you? This is the challenge as a man, right? Who's experienced strong women when it comes time to date, and we touched on it a little bit. How do you take off that cape because you're so used to being strong?
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes like effort,
Hi, Sash.
real
Listen.
effort. And then on top of that, is there a battle of the ego? Because sometimes there can be a power ego thing where Denyque been doing it all. She didn't have the baby, and then this, and then the strong man come and be like, "Hey, let me have it." No, 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 I got it. You ain't gonna
I
be telling me
was
what
just
to.
about to say, before you hit a nail on the head, it all goes back to the allowing. Now, if my man is there, my big strong man that I have chosen to lead, that he can lead me and I can just be soft in every single way, I cannot do nothing. You know what I'm doing? I'm picking up that baby and I'm going in the house. You can do everything else. I ain't doing nothing else.
Well, we can balance it out a little bit, but
Balance it out, yeah. So I'm gonna take the
right,
baby and I'm gonna go inside, and then now it's your job to do that. You know, it's all in the allowing,
be allowed.
allowing,
Hmm.
allowing.
I wonder if we can bring somebody up to ask a question. If anybody has a question,
Oh
what you
yeah, for
think?
sure, guys. You can always put your questions in the comments,
Yeah, yeah,
and we'll
yeah.
address them. So, Bella says, "I've been told I'm too independent, girl. Me too. However, when I'm into you, me too. The thing is, I believe in alignment now more than ever. Alignment and compatibility now more than ever.
Why?
Because it is very important that we're on the same frequency. If we're not, it's not going to work. We're gonna keep hitting roadblocks. So I feel like if you meet somebody and you're not on the same frequency, I don't think you should force that,
Hell
no
no.
matter how badly you want it. because what that will do, that will turn you, it will
Listen,
turn you sour, because you're going to try and do your absolute best to convince this person that, yo, I'm the one for you. Like, I am who you should be with. But in that moment, you're probably not, because at the end of the day, like, it's not what you want, and vice versa. It's not what I want, you know. And we as women, we do that a lot with men. Like, a man will tell you straight up, say, yo, I'm not looking for nothing serious right now. And we'd be like, okay. And in our head, we start
you think
months
you're gonna
old, all
change?
right. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
me, I gotta show him, say, I am the one. I am the one, and he is gonna marry me. He gonna be my boo. He go. That man don't want
You don't
that.
want it.
Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes it works out where, you know, a woman like 10 toes down, and it works out where he decides to change and become better
But that
for
ain't
the
the
relationship.
norm. That
It's
ain't the
not
norm.
the norm.
Yeah.
I feel like
And they
it's
need to know
it's
that.
it's more impactful when men do it, but it's not as believable when women do it. Like, that's the space I'm in right now. Like, I'm like, yo, I'm just not looking for a relationship, and for me, it just has to, it has to align. It has to align. Like, it has to be like, you
Right.
know, the right team.
We got a question. We got two questions.
Hey,
Advice
Sashi.
advice on dating in today's society. Advice on dating in today's society. You want
Dating is today's society. Well, we have to take it from two perspectives,
go ahead.
which is yours and which one is mine. So you're, for those who don't know, Mike is clearly American.
Clearly American. We're gonna talk about
Clearly
that later.
American.
Is it my
Clearly Black
accent? Is
American.
my accent not
So,
strong enough?
what has your dating experience been like?
Whew.
And what advice would you give to somebody that's trying to date right now?
So I think the person who asked that was a man. So my dating advice for a man in America, well, I don't know where he is. I would say in today's society, one, know who you are and know who you're not. That would be my first thing. Self-awareness, know your strengths, know what you want. Don't try to conform or fit or squeeze yourself into whatever image that the woman is trying to say, versus here's who I am. Here's the image. I'm this wine glass. And if she's looking for a whiskey mug, you ain't that, bro. This is what you coming to the table with. This, right? So know who you are, and then just be genuine. It's too much to say. It's because there's skill involved.
Authentic.
Be authentic, but there's a level of skill that you have. Like, I saw something the other day. You know that dating show where they pop the balloon? Look, they're going crazy with that on the internet right now. But look, the girl was like, she asked the guy, it was one guy and like 5 girls. She said, yo, is there anybody in your life who thinks that they're in a relationship with you, or are you in a relationship? And this Negro, he said, I got a roster. And everybody was like,
I got monster.
like, nigga, all you had to say was, I'm single and I'm dating, but I'm not in a, like, simple as that. So I think there is a level of skill, right? But I would just say, yo, know who you are, be authentic, and learn. We learn everything else. Learn how to date. What's your advice from the islands?
But how do you date? Like, what is is dating, is it multiple people all at once? Is it like, are
I
you dating
think,
with intention?
yeah, I think it depends on your capacity. If you are one of them cats that only can handle one person, you're going to call Denyque Sharon, then don't do it.
So why am I
But if you,
be Sharon?
Sharon,
Why am I could
if
none
you,
of that?
if I'm mixing up names and if I'm clumsy with it, if I'm, what I say is sloppy. If you sloppy with it, just take it one at a time. But if you had a capacity to date multiple people with the goal of getting to know them, not necessarily to sleep with them or just being gigolo, I
Right.
think that's okay. I think it's like, okay, let's go out. Let me get to know you. Let me understand your history, your journey. What are you looking for? Where you at in life? And I'll share mine. And to your point, wherever I feel the most alignment, that's where I'm going to spend the most time.
Right. Right. I like that. Energy, because energy doesn't
Energy.
lie.
Yeah,
Energy
energy.
does not lie. I agree with you. I would say, in my perspective, I am very, like, new to the dating world. Listen, I come from a country with a culture where if we are fuck with them.
Wait, what? What? Say it in American. Go back. I'm going to translate this for my American audience.
So, yeah, like we go together. Like the minute we start bumping, yeah, we go together real bad. That's the culture that I come from. There's no conversation. So, having to um make unlearn that and set certain boundaries for myself has been quite a journey. And knowing that, okay, yeah, no, we have to have this conversation.
Got to.
Like somebody asked me the other day, yo, you're 30 in your 30s and you want somebody to ask you to be their girlfriend. And yes, I do.
Right.
I do.
Facts.
Because that's what it is. You know what I mean? It's like, it's almost, see, somebody said it, my best friend said it, if we having sex, it means we're together. That's the culture we come from. Like, ask any Jamaican person, they will tell you. Ask a Jamaican man, they will tell you.
Wow.
Yo, from me going out, brother, and my girl that.
If that's the case, I done had a lot of girlfriends I didn't even know about back in the day.
But realistically, we're growing up, we're unlearning a lot of things. We're realizing as human beings that we need to have conversations about certain things because a lot of the time things don't align. Facts. Like, you know, like we need to be able to say, hey, it's not gonna work for me. You know what I mean? Like even if we went there, right. even if we had sex or we whatever, it's very important to be able to have that conversation. And ladies, I'm telling you from now, if you go there so with a Jamaican man, you have to tell him so on the door there. You have to. You have to tell him say on the door there.
Say that again, but slow it down. Say it again. Wait.
I thought you were Jamaican.
I am Jamaican. Hey, man. I'm not Jamaican shit at.
But no. So, all jokes aside, I'm gonna stop the fuckery. All jokes aside, my advice on dating, have conversations. Stand firm in your boundaries. Stand on business. You know what I mean? Like, be vigilant in who you are, what is for you. Of course, it's okay to think, okay, maybe if I did this, maybe I did that. But be very confident in who you are and what you want.
Facts.
And how you carry yourself. That's very important. So don't say one thing over here and then say a next thing over there. Like, yo, if you like dogs, say you like dogs. Don't change and say you don't like dogs because he doesn't like dogs. Nah, nigga, it's okay. He doesn't like dogs. That means y'all can't have a dog, or y'all just not gonna live together. You know what I mean? But a union like that wouldn't work, because if I love dogs and I want a pet dog, but you hate dogs and you don't want a pet, we can't work. That's the first red flag right there. And I just said it to somebody last night. My little cousin. I said to her, the red flags don't go green; they get redder. Sometimes they go a little pink, but they never turn green. And there is no color that you mix with red that makes green. None. So, you know.
That's a bar. That's a bar.
But yeah, it's so my advice for dating is just keep being authentic. Just like you said, keep being authentic. Keep being honest about who you are. And if it don't align, like, don't force it. Like, allow things to manifest in a great way. You know what I mean? Like, don't try to force something to happen. Don't try to put a round peg in a square peg in a round hole.
But you know,
wow, that sounded.
You got to talk about. To that point. You got to talk about the loneliness. That's why niggas be forcing shit, because they lonely. They tired of rubbing their feet together.
And a lot of the times, abandonment issues too.
That's a whole nother thing. Abandonment stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So we got another question. It's kind of related. Is it really official until it's on social media?
And that's another thing too. Like, I feel like everybody believes that, oh, if you don't post it, it doesn't happen. That's not true. Like, we out here living whole lives, baby. Whole lives that we don't post, that you know nothing about. So don't get caught up in the social media blitz.
Will you for your next relationship? Do you think you'll post?
I don't know. If it's Michael B. Jordan, for sure.
True that. I respect that.
But Michael B. Jordan. He gotta post me first.
Yeah, you think he's gonna post?
You gotta post me first. I
After
joke.
Lori,
I joke.
I
No.
don't think he. I
For
don't
me,
think he
like
posted.
there is. I'm not in that era right now. Like,
You ain't even there.
nah. Like
Yeah.
I'm in my private era. Like the things that you want sacred,
Yeah.
and you want to keep, you keep it private.
Right.
It don't gotta be a secret, but it definitely gotta be private. So
Yeah.
I mean, when the little paparazzi see us and they go click click, then that's fine. But you know,
Right. Other than that,
I love
we
how you
Gucci.
support my Delulu. I love when my friends support my Delulu. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Look, y'all. Any more questions? We better wrap up. No, I like that. I think I have been guilty of posting a lot back in the day, to the point
Facts.
where people be like, okay,
Facts.
it was this one, it was that one. What happened to the we? And then this one, and then I'll be like, you know what? We on season 8.
My
Just
precious time. What was your question? We didn't see it. Sash says, "Because a man will post you and be in love with a whole nother woman." I know that's right, girl.
listen.
I know that's right.
My
Hey.
my precious time said, do you guys cook your own meals or have chefs
Oh, I cook my
or
own meals,
eat
and
out?
my mother cooks too.
Ditto.
Because a lot of the time, the only part, there's nothing like a mother's cooking. Nothing like that. No
Yeah,
things she can cook, me can't cook. But whenever I'm in the mood to cook something that I know she can cook, I'll call her and I'll do it.
yeah.
But
I like
I
cooking
cook.
when
Girl,
I want to.
I'm a whole wife. I'm a wife forever. Forever.
Let's talk
Cook,
about that.
clean,
Let's talk
wash.
about the wife energy. I think what happens with a lot of folks when they get divorced and they start dating, and I think we talked about this last time, they bring married energy into the dating world.
So that's what I want to separate. Because I feel like a lot of people think that, I'll answer your question soon, DP plants. I think a lot of people feel like being a wife or being a husband has to do with a ring. It doesn't.
Heck no.
It's who you are to your core. It's being a gentleman. It's being a provider. I would say for a husband what I've known
Yep.
for that to be. And then for a woman is how you carry yourself, and just embracing all the layers of yourself, and just knowing who you are within your core, knowing your strength. Listen, enough of we out here, we can do the thing them. Like me, like I tell people all the time, yo, I cook, I clean, I I make a house a home. Period, 100%. I'm a great mom. I'm a great woman. Um, like you'd be an idiot for fumble me, like big man thing, like a big idiot. But at the end of the day, we're not aligned with everybody, you know and we have to know as women, because we're so guilty of doing this. We have to know when to pull our energy back. We have to know. Sometimes we test the waters and we say, because sometimes I can be a little bit like, sometimes I feel like I'm being a little bit harsh, and then I'll be like, maybe I could be softer in this situation. But then every time I do that, it's like, yeah, no, this ain't this ain't that. This ain't that.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what we do? We stand on business. We don't stay in that.
Yeah.
And that's what I want a lot of my girls to start doing, to start remembering. Like, yo, when you realize that this ain't that, get out of that and keep it moving. I want to go back to DP Plans, who was asking if I'm single by choice. Yes. Because it's just a space that I'm in right now. I have not, aligned with anybody yet. And that's okay. It's a journey. Do I have kids? Yes, I do. I have 2 kids. And would you date or be with a normal 9 to 5 Jamaican man? No, thank you. Been there, done that. No, thank you. I joke. No, I'm not joking.
She said, nah.
I'm not joking.
You don't want a Jamaican man, period, or just not a 9 to 5?
Oh, no. I love me some Jamaican man. What are you talking about?
Hey.
I love me my Jamaican. Hey. Not like a Jamaican man. But I don't know. I know that what I want right now, I haven't found it yet. It hasn't found me yet. Let me say that. And vice versa. And another thing too, I'll say, ladies, is because I know a lot of y'all are listening right now. Another thing that my friend Sasha said, no Jamaican. Yeah, no, honestly, I've dated Jamaican men all my life. I was married to a Jamaican man. So kind of want to take a break from them, but
you never dated American?
No. there is nothing like an emotionally evolved, mature Jamaican man. Like,
I was with you
yeah.
to the Jamaican part. Emotionally evolved. Can we just say man?
Man, yeah, man. What did I say though? Oh, I saying to my girls, because I'm no say una always I talk about Sierra prayer, all the type of prayer. All right. So we're praying for this man, right? Ladies, you're praying for this man and you want this incredible man and whatever, whatever. On the journey of praying for this man, we need to remember to not just ask God for this man to be attracted to us, but also ask God for us to be attracted to that man when he comes. Okay? Because we spend so much time attracting this man. You're going to attract all different types of men because you have that energy. You're that girl. You know what I mean? You're that girl. You a boss. You cook, you clean, you hold down the household. You're an incredible mother. You run your shit. Everybody are gonna want you.
Right.
But the onus is upon you to discern and know who gets access to your energy and who doesn't. And understand too that don't beat yourself up if you give somebody access to your energy and it don't work out. It's okay. It's okay. It's a lesson. You keep it moving. You see, my friend says American men are the worst.
Wait. Let's go back to that comment. Hold on. Where they at? Hold on. Where they at? Because I want to bring them up. We the worst. I mean, I think there's too many comments. There's too many people joining. But let me speak to the men. the why all the time is every man? I think for the guys though, honestly, we have to fall in love with the process of growth. We got to fall in love with the process of becoming a better version of ourselves. I remember when I went through a breakup, it was a big breakup. I was engaged to her after my marriage, and I read a book. It was like, I forget what it was called.
I used to married. I used to married.
Huh?
I used to married.
Used to marry. Oh, Jamaican men have quite a reputation too. But no, this book was like,
Lauren, them is Jankro. Them is a set of Jankro. The whole of them.
all of them.
But you do have a few that, that really stand out.
But the book was like, yo, the breakup guide for men. And the whole book was about, yo, build yourself up. Get hobbies. Yeah. Learn new skills. Learn new become interesting. Actually become interesting. So when you encounter a woman at the next level, you have something to engage her with versus you worshiping her like, oh, you're so beautiful. Oh, you're so cute. You're so talented. Okay, now what? Versus, yo, what do you think about EQ? Or how do you handle your trauma? Or what do you want to do in the next 5 to 10?
Right.
Have conversations that they're not even having. So I think a lot of men, we got another question. I think a lot of men get caught up in trying to make the woman their universe, which is the biggest mistake. If you make a woman your universe, she's going to rule over your whole world. Now, I think, in my opinion, you have a goal, you have a mission in life, you have something God ordained, or you feel like you were put on earth to do. Let that be your driving thing and be like, hey, baby, this is what I'm heading here. You want to go with me here? She's like, yeah, let's go. Versus, she's the universe. Oh, you're everything. It's cute for a minute. No, it's cute for a minute. Y'all like the attention for a minute.
Only for a minute.
Only for a minute. And then she going to be looking at you like, so what are you doing with your life? Like, where are we? Oh, baby, I love you. That's cute. Now what? Right? It get old. We got another question. Where are you hosting this live from? Chicago. And
Mike is in Chicago and I'm in Mandeville.
And then the other question is, what is your favorite thing to eat? I'm starting to think this person is a chef or something. Like, what's your favorite thing to eat?
Pork goat and white rice with no scotch bonnet pepper.
Well, goat. Ooh, I haven't had curry goat in years. I'm gonna go jerk fried wings.
What?
You never had? When you come to Chicago, you hit me up.
Jerk fried wings?
Jerk fried wings.
Okay.
Any other food questions while we're here on the food topic?
Well, my best friend is a chef. She is dope. Her name is Sasha Hollywood.
Sasha.
She has
Plantain too.
Sasha's Gourmet Kitchen. She's pretty
In
dope.
Jamaica?
No, she's in Miami,
Oh,
but she ships across the
dope,
states.
dope, dope, dope. Well, look.
And planting, you know, Bella, planting for sure. But yeah.
All right, I think that's it for the questions. Any last advice? Let's do last advice for men and
You go.
women. Migo,
You go, amigo.
should we stick? I would say for women. Oh, let's go with women first.
Okay.
I think where a lot of women, in my experience, get it wrong is, and I alluded to it in the beginning. I would say only it's around authenticity. Only communicate standards that you can uphold.
Mm.
Some women I've been in a situation where they're like, you know, I'm not sleeping with the man the first night. You know, you gotta take me out, you gotta wine and dine me, yada yada yada. Whether it's my personal experience or my guys, and then the opposite happens. And so what happens for the guy is we don't believe you anymore. Right or wrong. Like we don't believe your words. And that's, you know how you said staying on business?
Yeah.
So then your words don't hold the weight that they could have.
Mm.
Right? But you were communicating something you were trying to be something that you wasn't. And I don't think you should do that. I think you should just leave it all alone. Like communicate exactly where you are and nothing more, nothing less. And I think for guys, I would just echo what I usually do on my page is, yo, build yourself up, bro. Like, figure out who the hell you are. Say it with conviction and confidence. Don't let your statements have a question mark at the end. Let it have an exclamation point. Stand on it. Yeah, stand on who you are. Because I found early in my journey, when I didn't know who Mike was, I used to say things with a question mark, invisible question mark, and it gave the woman license to start questioning and start like, so you did what? And da da da, poking at my story. I would be like, oh, right. But now it's like, no, this is what it is, and that's what I said. They're like, oh, okay, cool. So that's my advice for the men and the women. What about you?
The first piece of advice I would give men as a woman is stop realizing that she was the catch after you fuck up.
Ouch.
Yeah, recognize and learn to value what's in front of you when you have it and not when you lose it. Because if she's like me, you're not gonna get a second chance. Yeah. Sorry. Or a third. Now sometimes we give them second chance, you know. Sometimes. But
Go ahead.
my advice for men is
that's good. That's really good.
Stop waiting to value your woman. Yeah, you're not in case I miss you all the time. That does not have to be your song of choice. You know what I mean?
That's really good.
Another piece of advice I would give is stop rushing so much. The journey is the destination. Slow it down. Be still. It says in the Bible, be still and wait on the Lord. Like, I feel like we should take that into account in our lives on a whole. Like, just be still. Like, what is for you, it won't miss you. And just like you said, when you start to become the person that you know you are, or you know you can be, or who you want to be, you're gonna be in a great place. Now, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, when you are light, you attract everybody. You attract light, you attract dark. The onus is upon you to discern what you give your energy to and who you allow to have access to you. That's my 2 cents. But yeah, y'all niggas need to stop, man. Stop fucking up and then coming back like, you know. And
why do you think you do that?
I don't know. I should really think about that.
I think from the guy's perspective is, or one of the reasons why it could be, is that the fallacy of options.
True. Can't satisfy.
And it's like, yo, if you're not satisfied with what you got in front of you, you'll keep
And a lot of the
looking.
times, the men don't know. A lot of the times, I feel like, in my opinion, men don't know when they have something good, or they don't know how to value it. So that's why they fumble it. And another thing to add to that is, so don't wait until you fuck up. But also, if you know within yourself that you're not ready for a certain woman, leave that
Leave
woman
her
alone, bro.
alone, bro.
Leave her alone.
Leave her alone, bro.
Leave her
Don't do it.
alone. And this falls a lot of the times to ego. Ego will fuck a man up. Ego will fuck him up. Ego is edging God out. Literally translates to edging God out. I'm not saying dash away your ego, because I have an ego. So we don't want to get rid of the ego completely, but we want to remember that we control the ego. The ego doesn't control us.
Can y'all be gentle with our fragile egos?
Of course.
When a
First of
man,
all,
let me say this. Hold on.
we know how to pamper a man's ego. We know how to do
But
that.
look,
But
Neek, when a man finally, can you fix your face while I'm having this vulnerable moment?
You see, how you know, see a fuckery. That's why you want me to fix my face.
When a man finally lets his guard down,
right,
and finally decides to be vulnerable, that's very hard for an ego-driven man. Ego up here, very hard for a man.
Very hard for an ego-driven woman too.
I only can speak for the man. You speak for the woman
too. Right, there we go.
So when a man finally decides to let his ego and guard down, think of that moment like being in an operating room with white gloves and everything is sterile, and you got to really treat that moment sacred, because if you mishandle that moment and you say some old pussyfoot, you go somewhere crazy.
Pussyfoot?
I mean, whatever. If you mismanage that moment, you may never get that moment back again. And then you'll be begging him to be vulnerable, and all he could think about is that last time he tried and you hurt his ego. You got to manage it good.
Yo, it's so funny you said that for men, because women, we're like that too. Like, the minute I'm vulnerable with you and you do some dumb shit,
you lost it.
Never get me back.
You're never going to see that again.
Never.
Now, hold on. Is that, and I might be stepping on toes here, but is that for women because you've been in your masculine energy? Because that seems to be a masculine trait.
It's an egotistical trait, and the ego is usually aligned with the man. But it's an egotistical.
Because you're supposed to be soft.
We are soft, but look, sometimes
I'm jabbing.
We gotta go hard.
You gotta go hard to paint.
And another
I get it.
thing too, another piece of advice, ladies, stop speaking on what men want. You're not a man. It had to be said. And men, stop speaking on what women want. You're not a woman. Stop doing it. Stop. And every time you want to make a comment based on what you think a woman wants, always remember, say, in my opinion, or in my experience,
you better.
This is what it has been. Or this is what I believe based on my experience with someone. This is what I believe that women want. But don't speak for us. You don't know. A man will never understand a woman's journey, and vice versa. No matter how much Uncle Steve tells us to think like a man, we could do that. Enough time we run circles around and I don't even realize it. Because y'all, guess what? We know how to let y'all feel like you're winning. That is a trait of an incredible woman right there.
That's true.
We know how to make your ego shine and to make you feel like you're in control. But a lot of the times you're really not.
And we are okay with that as long as you make us feel like we are.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But another thing too, where that I find hypermasculine, because I've seen it where women actually feel offended by that when a man feels like he's in control. And I'm like, no, you got to let him. You got to give that to him. Gotta give it to him.
Like somebody said, murder. Exactly. Give us that. Give it. Look, if my woman made me feel like I'm the man, she can have willingly, freely, whatever she wants.
But then you gotta. The thing is, I say this to people. I say this to guys that I've dated. I say, you think I don't want to submit to you? That's not how submission works. You gotta lead. You have to lead me in order for me to submit. That's how submission is something that comes naturally. It's not something that you tell yourself like, oh, this is my man now, so I have to submit. Nigga,
if you have to think about it,
out of my face.
Right. If you gotta think about it, your man is failing. He's failing.
It ain't it. You have to, and for a woman like me, you have to be super masculine to lead me. Like, listen, Matt Topbo, super masculine. Like, you can't just, no, I'm not gonna, no, I'm way too smart with that, for that shit. Like, especially if I see where I can run circles around you, and I'm not gonna do it because I'm not the type of person. Especially if I'm in a connection and I feel like the table is shifting, the table is turning, and I can, for want of a better word, take advantage of you. I'm not gonna do it. I don't want that. I don't want that, because that's not the dynamic that I want. Like, and I tell men all the time, like, yo, let's just be friends. Why y'all always want to bump coochies? Let's just be friends. Like, oh my God, can you be my homie? Like, I just want to be your homegirl, bro. Like, Jesus.
Do you know how hard that is for a man to hear sometimes?
I do. all my guy friends tell me, they're like, Denyque, shut up.
Exactly.
Just shut up.
They ain't trying to hear all that. Unless they in a relationship, well, sometimes that don't even matter. But yeah, dating powerful women takes a certain kind of man, and it takes a certain kind of skill. And I think that I would advise men not to do it if you're not in that space. If you don't know who you are, knowing who you are doesn't mean you don't have any flaws.
Sasha is killing me. Bella, listen, the only place I want to take charge is in the bedroom. And even in the bedroom, I don't want to take charge.
No, we not.
I'm a baby. I'm a baby. I'm a princess. And that's what it is.
Yeah. What is that? If I find myself having to take charge, where?
Yeah, because
I'm out.
It's a turn off.
Yeah.
It's like, now I'm having to lead. Like, I don't want to lead. Like, I want to be valued. I want to be respected. I want to know that you check in with me. Like, you know, like you respect me enough to be like, hey, I respect your opinion. But to lead, no, that's not what we were made for. The Bible made Adam and Eve for a reason. Adam are the leader. I know the woman them don't want to hear this, but we are helpmates. Yes, some of us are very powerful helpmates.
That's a beautiful.
But listen,
that's a beautiful word.
Listen, woman them, go read the 48 Laws of Power. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it ain't build a beer around here.
Hell no. No.
It's too much work. The bedroom is about passion, not gender.
What'd they say?
But somebody said the bedroom is about passion, not gender.
No, I don't believe that. I think there's space for both.
I agree.
Space for both. I don't really do dogmatic statements. I used to be, but I think the older you get, the more you realize there's so many different variations in life.
Yeah, so many different variations.
Yeah. All right, Nick. Anything else, homie?
Nah, I'm good. We done talked each other's ears off and talked to the people them for a good hour.
Mm-hmm.
Me either, man. And yeah, we could go all night. I swear to God. But now that's it.
Is it
for me?
That's it. That's all. That's it. Look, we gonna touch base. Yeah, we'll.
The last time we did this was like what, 3 years ago?
Were we in the pandemic? Was it?
I think it was after
2-3 years. Why?
Because they don't align intimately. And okay. Oh God, no, let's not me up again.
Go ahead. Last thing. Go ahead.
Sometimes you just don't align with somebody intimately. Like you could be great friends, but the sex ain't it. Or the love ain't it. You know, the intimate love is not it. And then sometimes the sex is bananas.
But the relationship
friendship is just not there. Yeah. You know, it's very rarely that you get everything in
Both.
one. But I'm one of them people that are delulu enough to believe that you will find
Look,
everything in one. You'll find it. You will find it. You'll find it.
I am
But
one who think you will get a good 80% of what you
I
want.
think, and I say 90.
90?
I like to think 90.
I'm a little older, so when you get closer to 40, let me see what that number is. I'm 39 next month in September. So we'll
You're
see.
a Leo?
September,
Oh
Virgo.
no! Oh, you're a Virgo.
Fix your face. What is
You're
up
a
with your
Virgo. No, no,
face
no, no, no,
tonight?
no, no. I have no problem with Virgos. My mom is a Virgo.
Who?
I love me Virgos. My
Your
mom is a
mom?
Virgo. My mom is a Virgo. My dad's a Virgo. So
You a Virgo by association.
I'm a Virgo moon.
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah,
My
yeah,
moon
yeah.
sign is a Virgo.
All right, last question. What's your favorite type of alcohol? Again, are we planning a party? We got
White
food, we got alcohol.
rum and reposado on the
Mm.
rocks.
I do
No
con.
chaser.
Give me that cognac. Give me that yak.
Okay.
All right, so hopefully not another 3 years until we connect again.
Right?
But it was fun, homie.
It was.
Appreciate
Thank you for everybody that stuck with us through the live. I hope you guys took away some gems from the conversation.
Appreciate you. All right, people, thanks for dialing in. I'm going to save this. Y'all can replay, and then we'll holla. All right, Nick, be safe.
Bye.